Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. We have started chapter number 10. Topic is acid, bases and salts, and today we will discuss our last lesson, that is types of salts. There are different types of salts, in which normal salts, acidic salts, basic salts, mixed salts, double salts and complex salts. So, so one by one we will discuss all these salts, how they are prepared, what are their characteristics, properties, and what are their reactions. So first of all we will discuss normal salts. A salt formed by the total replacements of ionizable hydrogen ions of an acid by a positive metal ion or ammonium ion is called normal or neutral salts. Normal salts, as you know, salts are formed by whenever there is a reaction between an acid and a base, or acid always contains hydrogen ions according to Arrhenius concept, as you already learned about this. So if we these hydrogen ions are replaced by any metal ion or ammonium ion, so resulting salt is known as neutral salt or normal salts. Or what is the characteristic property? Okay, these salts are neutral to litmus. So now here are some examples. So first of all you can see we have hydrochloric acid, that is acid, and we have potassium hydroxide, that is a base. Reaction between acid and base production is potassium chloride, or potassium chloride is a neutral salt because in this salt there is no hydrogen ion. You can see in the reaction the salt is potassium chloride and there is a formation of water. Potassium chloride, no hydrogen ion, so it is known as neutral salt. In next example you can see we have sulfuric acid reacts with zinc oxide, formation zinc sulfate plus water. So zinc sulfate is a neutral salt because it does not contain any replaceable hydrogen ion. Now you can see that there is phosphoric acid H3PO4 reacts with sodium hydroxide, formation is sodium phosphate and water. All these are neutral salts. Now you can see that hydrogen ion of nitric acid is replaced by ammonium ion. The ammonium nitrate is a salt, that is we have seen in the definition. Hydrogen ion are replaced by a metal ion or ammonium ion. So we are saying these are neutral salts or normal salts. How many hydrogen ions are present in the acid? Either it is one, it may be two, it may be three, as we have seen in our examples. Hydrochloric acid has only one hydrogen ion, sulfuric acid has two replaceable hydrogen ions, or phosphoric acid has three replaceable hydrogen ions, and all these hydrogen ions are replaceable. After replacing they form neutral salts. The next is acidic salts. So how we define? The salts are formed by partial replacement of a replaceable hydrogen ions of an acid by a positive metal ion. So partial replacement means the acid which we are using must have more than one hydrogen ions. So then there is a formation of acidic salt. Okay, one of the hydrogen ion is replaced and one is remaining, or there are more than one remaining in the salt. Or what are the characteristic properties? This salt turns blue litmus red. Acidic salt react with bases to form normal salts. If we change acidic salt into normal, so we have to react this salt with more base. So the hydrogen ion which is present in the acidic salt, it is replaced by the base. So there is a formation of acidic salts. So let us discuss one example. So we have taken sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid contains two hydrogen ions, reacts with base, that is potassium hydroxide. So after replacement of partial replacement of one hydrogen ion, there is a formation of potassium hydrogen sulfate, yeah, potassium bisulfate. You can also say potassium bisulfate. The formula is KHSO4 plus water. So you can see in the salt one hydrogen ion is present. Sorry, one hydrogen ion is present. It means a salt contains hydrogen ions, so that is known as acidic salt. Okay, when this acidic salt is reacted again with potassium hydroxide, you can see in above example, potassium bisulfate reacts with potassium hydroxide, then there is a formation of potassium sulfate. So potassium sulfate K2SO4 is a neutral salt. When potassium bisulfate KHSO4, it is a acidic salt. Similarly, you can see we are taking H3PO4. It contains 3 hydrogen ions, reacts with sodium hydroxide. There is a formation of sodium biphosphate, or again we are reacting sodium biphosphates with sodium hydroxide. It forms a neutral salt, that is sodium phosphate. So in this way, that is after replacement of one hydrogen ion, there is formation of acidic salt, or then there is a complete replacement of replaceable hydrogen ions, then there is a formation of neutral salt. So next is basic salt. How we define basic salts are formed by the incomplete neutralization of a polyhydroxy base by an acid. So what do you mean by polyhydroxy base? It means a base which contains more than one hydroxyl group. So if we have to form basic salts, we will take such types of bases which have more than one hydroxyl group. So to characteristic properties, these salts further react with acids to form neutral salt. These basic salts also change into neutral salt after reaction with more acids. So we can see in the examples. Okay, first of all, we have taken aluminum hydroxides. In aluminum hydroxide, what we have? We have 3 replaceable hydroxyl groups. We are reacting with hydrochloric acids. So one hydroxyl group is replaced with chloride group, chloride ion. So we are forming AlOH twice chlorine. So there is a formation of basic salts. So when we are reacting with this basic salt, aluminum hydroxychloride, with again with hydrochloric acid, so one more OH group is replaced with chlorine. There is formation of basic salt. Again, aluminum hydroxychloride reacted with hydrochloric acid, then there is a formation of aluminum chloride. Aluminum chloride AlCl3. It doesn't contain any replaceable hydroxyl group. It means aluminum chloride is a neutral salt. Now further examples, you can see we have lead hydroxide, that it contains 2 hydroxyl groups. For zinc hydroxide, it also contains 2 hydroxyl groups. So one by one we can replace hydroxyl group and there is a formation of neutral salts. If we want to take basic salt, so we will replace only one hydroxyl group. So next is double salts. Double salts, how we define a salt? Double salt is a salt that contains more than one cation or more than one anion. Any salt which contain more than one cation, it is known as double salt, or sometimes it contains more than one anion, it is known as double salts. Double salts, how we can form double salts, are formed by 2 normal salts when they are crystallized from a mixture of equimolar saturated solutions. We are taking 2 normal salts. We are taking their aqueous solution in equimolar quantities, and we are making a saturated solution. So we have maximum amount of salts in solution. The individual salts components retain their properties. The anions and cations give their respective test. For example, some are the double salts, Mohr salts, FeSO4, ammonium sulfate, and 6 water molecules. Potassium sulfate, aluminum sulfate, and 24 water molecule. Ferric alum, potassium sulfate, ferric sulfate, and 24 water molecules are examples of double salts. You can see in the diagrams here we have Mohr salts and we have potash alum. You can see their crystals in the diagram. The next one is mixed salts. Mixed salts contain more than one basic or acidic radicals. Bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride, chloride is an example of mixed salts. You can see nowadays we are using bleach in our house in the form of liquid or in the form of powder, so that is known as mixed salts. The next one is complex salts. Complex salts on dissociation provides a simple cation and a complex anion or vice versa. Okay, it may be a complex cation or a simple anion. Only the simple anions yield the characteristics as for cation or anion. For example, potassium ferrocyanide K4FeCN6 gives an on ionization a simple cation potassium and a complex anion ferrocyanide. It means complex salts are recognized only from a simple cation. So these are some types of salts. And now the last one, what are the uses of salts? And there are different salts, and we can see their common and industrial uses. The first one is sodium chloride. It is commonly used as a table salt and for cooking purpose. It is also used for de-icing roads in winter and for the manufacturing of sodium metal, caustic soda, washing soda. You can see sodium metal. We can make sodium metal from sodium chloride, caustic soda, washing soda. All these are used as a raw material in many industries. The second one is sodium carbonate, that is commonly known as soda ash. It is used for the manufacturing of glass, detergents, pulp and paper, and other chemicals. Sodium carbonate, commonly known as washing soda, it is used as a cleaning agent for domestic and commercial purpose, for softening of water in manufacturing of chemicals like caustic soda, borax, glass, soap and paper. Sodium sulfate, it is used for the manufacturing of glass, paper and detergents. Sodium silicate, it is used for the manufacturing of detergents, cleaning agents and adhesives. Adhesives, as you know, they are sticking materials. Okay, for example, we are using gum, Samad bond, all these are adhesives. They are naturally and artificially exist. The next, sodium chlorate, it is used for the manufacturing of explosives, plastics and other chemicals. Sodium tetraborate, it is used for the manufacturing of heat resistance glass, glaze and enamels in leather industries for soaking and cleaning hides. Hides mean skin of animals. So when we have to clean the hides, we are cleaning and them in a solution which is made of sodium tetraborate. So next is calcium chloride. It is used for de-icing roads in winter as a drying agent for chemical reagents and as a freezing agent. Calcium oxide, that is also known as quicklime, it is used as drying agent for gases and alcohol in steel making. water treatment and other chemicals like slaked lime, bleaching powder, calcium carbide. For purification of sugar, a mixture of calcium oxide and sodium hydroxide called soda lime. When we are using calcium oxide and sodium hydroxide collectively, we are calling them soda lime. It is used to remove carbon dioxide and water vapors from air during the process purification of sugar. So we are using soda lime. So remember, quick lime, there is a difference in quick lime and soda lime. There is a short question: what is the difference between quick lime and soda lime? Quick lime is calcium oxide, or soda lime is mixture of calcium oxide plus sodium hydroxide. So you have to underline all these points and you have to remember, okay, what is quick lime and what is soda lime. Okay ji. Now next is calcium sulfate. Gypsum, commonly known as gypsum, is used as fertilizer to prepare plaster of Paris, which is used for making statues, cassettes, etc. Cassettes mean when there is a fracture, doctor makes a frame for you have seen somebody have fracture and plasters made that are known as cassettes. Nitrate, potassium nitrate, it is used as a fertilizer and for the manufacturing of flint glass. So all these are some uses of salts. The next is the last topic is neutralization. As we already know, whenever there is a reaction between acid and a base, there is a production of salt, and that typical reaction is known as neutralization, because acid and bases react and a new product that is formed, it is totally different. It has no characters of acids, no characters of base. It is a neutral. So we are saying that is a neutralization reaction. So for example, how we define a reaction between an acid and a base is called a neutralization reaction. It produces salt and water. We can see in examples in hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide formation, sodium chloride, water, sulfuric acid, sodium sulfate, water, acetic acid, sodium hydroxide, sodium acetate, or water. So all these are salts. So typical reactions are known as neutralization reaction. Now the last, okay, preservatives in foods. So what are preservative chemicals used to prevent food spoilage are called preservatives. Those you can see in tin packing, there are we are using many types of preservatives, so they can make our food they can prevent our food from spoilage. Food spoiling may be due to microbial actions or chemical reactions. So preservatives serve as either antimicrobial or antioxidant or both. Manufacturers add preservatives mostly to prevent spoiling during transportation and storage of foods for a period of time. So you can also learn this. Or next, so we have finished. Mostly we have done our short question. Remaining short question you can see, and next time in the next week, inshallah, on Tuesday there will be a test of short questions, only short questions. So there are 1 to 16, or all the short questions are included. You have to learn and by heart all these short questions and ready for your test. Inshallah, next week I will give you a test and you will solve it. Or take care of yourselves. Remember, in all of us, in your prayers. Allah Hafiz.